And we are live. Welcome back with Murphy Mac to another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast, where we help you get started on your fitness journey. What is up, everybody? Happy Sunday or Monday, whenever you listen to this podcast. Hope y'all have a blessed day and go out and do great things and achieve all your goals in life, whether it be fitness, relationships, careers, whatever it is. Y'all go do y'all thing. I believe in y'all. You can do it. Okay, let's get into the podcast today. And today's podcast topic is going to be running 101, running for beginners. We're going to cover everything about running, everything I think you need to know, in my opinion. So, why running is great, about how to warm up, how to cool down, the gear you need, how to start running, tips to stay motivated, safety when it comes to running, all things like that. Who should run, who shouldn't run. We're going to cover everything. So, y'all stay tuned for a great episode today. Well, and this, you may be wondering why I'm talking about running. Well, one, running is probably the most popular form of cardio there is out there. So if you're thinking about starting a fitness journey, or if you've already started a fitness journey, you are looking into running or may have already started running. It's very popular and it's for good reason. But another reason why I want to do this podcast is I just recently started running again. And I guess I can go ahead and spoil it for y'all. A little spoiler alert. My next big challenge for next year is more than likely going to be an ultra marathon 100 miler. I'm not 100% dead set on this. I am looking into doing a Ironman as well. So it's going to be one of the two. Or maybe if we can fit it in, I may do both. I really want to do both, but the way my schedule is going to work out next year, it's probably not going to work out that way because I'll be honest, these little races and trips, they get kind of expensive. And we already have 2 vacations planned for next year. So it's not looking like I'm going to be able to do both. Just from a time and financial standpoint, probably not going to be able to do both. But if I have to pick one, I'm going to do the ultra marathon because that's the next thing, or that's one other thing that's on my bucket list. Y'all know I have this crazy bucket list that I'm trying to knock things off of, and I've already knocked off the not the marathon, the Ironman. So the next thing, of course, it's got to be the ultra marathon. So that's what I'm looking at. There's one April 12th that I'm looking into doing. And I've pretty much already made my mind up. The only thing that's holding me back is that Ironman. I may change my mind and do the Ironman, but I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna kind of play out how my schedule is because, like I said, we have 2 vacations planned next year. We have 1 vacation planned with my wife's family, and then also another vacation for our anniversary that we do every year. So money's gonna be kind of tight next year. So if y'all would hit the subscribe button, share it with a friend, like it, that would help me out a lot. I really appreciate it. But yeah, running, I think it's great. And it's kind of funny because I've never actually started running or liked running until I did my Ironman training. I never really ran before that. Yeah, I grew up playing sports. I played baseball, basketball, football, and I did a lot of running. But it was never long distance running. It was never running for exercise. It was always short, fast-paced sprints. Like in baseball, pretty much the furthest you ever ran was about 60 yards, maybe up to like 80, maybe 100 yards. That's it. Like you're never running further than that. It was never long distance endurance running. It was more sprint, quick, fast-paced running, kind of like a track team, you know. So that's all I did growing up. I never did any endurance running. Then I did my Ironman. I just started running out of nowhere, and I kind of enjoyed it. I did. I mean, don't get me wrong. It sucks at times. It gets hard, but it's enjoyable when you can kind of get out there and get in the zone and do it. So with that being said, I got back into running after my bodybuilding show. If you've been listening, you know I didn't really do any endurance training during my bodybuilding prep. Didn't do any running just because it would be counterintuitive to what I was trying to do with the bodybuilding show. So I cut it out and I didn't do it for a while, but I just started back. And the goal is to never cut out running or like endurance training from my training at all anymore. So, and I also never want to cut out weight training again. So when I did my Ironman prep, I completely cut out weight training. And then when I did my bodybuilding prep, I completely cut out endurance training. So I don't want to do that again because I go way too far on the scale, like back and forth. So I want to keep both of them in there, no matter what my goals are and no matter what I'm training for. I want to do both. So I've already decided that no matter what I train for, I'm still going to keep both of them in there. Obviously, I'm going to have to adjust my schedule. I can't do as much of each. I'm going to have to split it in half, basically. But I'm going to keep both of them in there so I can kind of maintain that. Because when I did the Ironman training, I lost a ton of muscle and I got super small because I was running a lot. I was doing a lot of cardio. I was doing 2-a-days, pretty much 7 days a week for months. So I lost a lot of not only fat, I did lose a lot of fat, but I lost a lot of muscle, and I don't want to do that again. And same thing with the bodybuilding show. I lost a lot of weight, but it was a majority fat that I lost. I held on to a lot of muscle, but I wasn't doing any endurance training. So I lost a lot of cardio, like a lot of endurance during that time. So I don't want to do that. I want to do both. So that's kind of like that hybrid athlete, hybrid training that you hear of nowadays. That's what I'm kind of going after. That's what I'm modeling it, my training program after. I mean, yeah, as I get more into my ultra marathon prep, obviously it's going to be a lot more running than it is weightlifting, but I'm still going to try to keep it in there. At the minimum, I want to get at least 3 days a week weightlifting at minimum. And then running, I'll adjust depending on where I'm at in my training program. So yeah, let's hop into the podcast. That's enough about me. We're going to talk about why should you run? Like, why should you? I mean, obviously everybody knows running is going to help you lose some weight because you're burning calories. But it's one of the best ways to keep your body healthy, in my opinion. I mean, it strengthens your heart. Your heart is a muscle, so it makes your heart pump blood in your body. So that's good. You're kind of working out. Think of it as when you lift weights, you're working out your muscles. Think when you're running, you're working out your heart. So it's kind of the same thing. So it means your whole body can get more oxygen when your body's pumping blood. It makes you feel more energetic. It can help you build strong muscles, bones, especially in your legs and your core. So it's good for the body. It's good for your mind also. It's good for the mind. It don't just help your body. It's great for your brain because it's going to be a mental challenge. It's tough. It's mentally tough. When you run, your brain releases chemicals called endorphins. And when these endorphins are released, you feel happier. Like it's going to make you feel happier. It can help you clear your mind, help your stress levels if you're stressed out. And another good thing why you should run is running is simple. You can literally run anywhere. You can run in your neighborhood. You can run at the park. You can run on a treadmill. You can run on a track. You can do it at nighttime, daytime, raining, snowing. You can do it whenever. And it's very flexible. You can fit it in your schedule. So that's a good reason why it's a good exercise because pretty much anybody can do it. You don't have any restraints or excuses as to why you can't run. You can't say, oh, well, I don't have a treadmill, so I can't run. Well, you can go outside and vice versa. So how does running affect your body? Well, for the heart and lungs, when you run, your heart works harder to pump blood and your lungs get better at using oxygen. So this can make daily activities. So think of like climbing stairs, carrying the groceries in, things like that. It can make it feel easier over time because you're going to get better at it. You're going to increase your endurance, increase that stamina. It's going to be easier. So think of like trying to keep up with your kids. You're running around trying to keep up with your kids. You know, they're running all over the place. Boom, you got more stamina. And you can keep up with them. You can hang. You know, if you ever climbed up a lot of stairs at once, and when you got to the stairs, you were breathing hard. Well, this is going to help that. Also, your muscles and joints. So running, it can strengthen your leg muscles, especially your calves, hamstrings, quads. It also engages your core. But at the same time, running, as y'all may know, can be hard on your knees. It can be hard on your ankles. So if you don't use good running form, wear the right shoes, it can kind of hinder you there. But we're going to work on that and get better at that. So that's not a problem for you. And then also, everybody knows that running burns calories. And this is why so many people do this for weight loss because it burns a lot of calories. It's probably the way you can burn the most amount of calories in the shortest amount of time. It uses a lot of energy, so it burns a lot of calories. But at the same time, it may not be the best form of cardio for everybody, especially if you're very new, beginner, or if you have some kind of injury or something. It's not always the best, but it probably burns the most in my opinion. I can't really think of anything else that would burn more than running. I mean, I'm sure there's examples out there, and you definitely could burn more like if you're doing some kind of like HIIT training or something, but you can only do that for so long. Running, you can do for a long time and expand how much you can burn, if that makes sense. So who should run and who shouldn't run? Well, the person that should run is anybody that just wants to improve their fitness, somebody that enjoys exercising, especially outside, because most of your running is probably going to be outside. Somebody that needs to get their heart rate up. Running is good for kids, for teens, adults. Anybody can benefit from running. So who should run? Pretty much anybody. There's not many people that shouldn't run. So who shouldn't run or who should be careful when running is somebody that has previous injuries, somebody that has joint issues, somebody that has bad knees, somebody that has heart problems, people who are very overweight, they should start with lower impact exercises. Running may not be the best for these people, but the good thing about that is you can always walk. Walking is probably a better option for these people, or also swimming. Swimming's a lot easier on the body, easier on the joints. It can help you avoid injury and things like that. So it's if you can't run, then I would opt for the walking or swimming option. Those are good too. But pretty much running is good for anyone for the most part. If it's not good for you, you know it. Like you know the running is not good for you because you've had some kind of past injury or bad knees, heart problems, things like that. Your doctor's probably told you before that running may not be the best option for you. And if you're not sure, ask your doctor if it's okay for you to run. This is not professional advice by no means. I'm not a doctor. This is just my personal opinion. So don't take it as that. So what do you need when you're getting started running? Like what kind of gear or anything like that? Well, let me start this off by saying you don't need anything. You don't need any gear. You just need the self motivation, the will to go out there and do it. But there's a lot of nice to haves and not like a lot of nice things to have when you're running. And first and foremost, everybody knows you got to have you a good pair of running shoes. Running shoes make a huge difference when it comes to running. And this was something I had to learn the hard way. Because when I first started training for my Ironman, I was literally running Nike. I was wearing Nike Metcon trainers. So if you don't know what those are, they're weightlifting shoes. They have a flat sole. I think they're a zero drop shoe, not made for running at all, not good for running. And I was running in that, and because I didn't realize you needed like a good pair of shoes running. So I finally one day when I got serious about my training, I decided, hey, I need a good pair of shoes. So I went to Fleet Feet in Mobile. It's a running store, and they got me a good pair of running shoes. And man, oh man, let me tell you right now, dude, these shoes made a world of a difference. The very first time I put these on and ran, it felt like I was running on clouds. No lie. It was like a night and day difference. It wasn't even close. Now I did get the very supportive shoes, like it's the ones with thick soles. It's like the most comfort that I got, dude, and it made so much of a difference. It was unreal how like comfortable and how much easier these shoes were on my knees and ankles. It made a super big difference. So I suggest if you're going to get in running, go to a sports store, like a running store. If you're in a Mobile area, Fleet Feet, that's a good one. I think that's like a franchise. You can probably go. I think they have them all over. Get fitted for a pair of shoes. Let them do the little foot test on you to show you where you put pressure on your feet. They'll have you like walk across the thing, and it'll show you where your pressure points are on your feet. And then based off that data, they can suggest you a certain shoe based off like how your running style is, how you walk, pressure points, your foot shape, things like that. They can suggest you a shoe. And I suggest you do this. Yeah, it's going to be a little more expensive because you're going to be buying some expensive running shoes. But if you're really serious about getting in running, it's well worth it. I promise. I think I paid like $170 for my shoes. I got a pair of Brooks Glycerin, if you're curious. Brooks Glycerin is the name of them. And I highly recommend those if you want some. They're kind of expensive, $170 or whatever. I know a lot of shoes are that much nowadays, but it's well worth it. It's going to help your knees and ankles out, hips out a lot, I promise. So yeah, I highly recommend getting you a good pair of running shoes. Next, after your running shoes, you want to get some comfortable clothing. Yeah, clothing don't make that much of a difference when it comes to your running, but you need something that's made for exercise. You need something that's lightweight, something that's breathable, something that's moisture wicking. So y'all know like workout clothes. Y'all know what they are. Get something like that. If you're in colder weather, you're going to need to layer up. So you may need a hat, a beanie, like gloves, something like that. You may need to put on some thicker socks. But when it comes to running, you definitely want some like workout clothes. Don't wear cotton. I'm going to go ahead and do you a favor right now. Don't wear no cotton shirt. You're going to sweat straight through it. It's going to be heavy. Because when your cotton shirt gets wet, it just like droops down on you. It's going to be sagging. It's not going to be comfortable. Just don't do it. If you're a male, I suggest taking your shirt off. Like literally take your shirt off and run. That's what I do. And that's what I enjoy. Just because I know I'm going to get super sweaty. So I'm going to sweat through whatever shirt I have on. Like my shirt's going to be drenched by the time I get done. So I just save myself the trouble of having a super wet, sweaty shirt. I just take it off. I don't even wear it. Unfortunately for you females out there, you can't do that. But you can run like a sports bra. And that's probably what I would recommend for you to do if you're comfortable with that. Obviously, if you're not comfortable, then do what you got to do. But yeah, comfortable clothing, that's going to be number 2. And then also any like little things, like if you're going to be running at night, you want to wear reflective clothing for sure. You want to, or have like some kind of light, flashlight, a headlamp. You may want a headlamp. This way cars can see you, and if you're wearing a headlight, this is for you to be able to see too. But yeah, if you're on the street, wear some reflective clothing. They make like little vests that runners can wear, things like that. This way people can see you. Another thing is you're gonna want a water bottle. You're gonna want a running watch. So everybody's got Apple Watches nowadays, a Garmin, whatever you're gonna wear, a running watch. This is gonna be good to track your workouts. And there's a lot more running things, but you don't really need all those getting started out. This is just like the basic gear that you need. And like I said at the beginning, you don't need any of this stuff. This is all just nice to have. So the more you get into it, the more you'll get some of this stuff. Like the more you'll start buying the stuff as you start running. But if I had to suggest one, get you a pair of shoes. Get those first before you buy anything else. Pair of shoes, that's not mandatory, but that's gonna be your number one. I promise. It'll make a big difference. So next we're gonna talk about fueling your body for a run. So you gotta fuel. When you're running, you're gonna be sweating a lot. You're gonna be burning a lot of calories. So you want to set yourself up for success before and after your run. So what to eat before running? Try to eat a small meal or snack about an hour or so before your run. And what I suggest is getting some carbs and electrolytes in before your run. So you can opt for something like a banana with a peanut butter, toast with some jam, a granola bar, something with some quick digesting carbs that you can eat before a run. That way your body can use these carbs for fuel during your run. That way it can go harder, you can push harder, and things like that. So it's going to give you energy. And these smaller meals are going to hopefully sit on your stomach better. They're not going to be in there all gushing around and stuff while you're running. And don't make your stomach hurt. The next most important thing is you want to stay hydrated for sure. You got to be drinking water throughout the day. Drink water before your workout, before you run, after you run, and just throughout the day. That you should be doing this anyway. You should be doing this period, even if you're not running. You want to make sure you're staying well hydrated before and after your runs. So especially if you're running more than 45 minutes, you especially should be drinking some water. Consider bringing water with you. You may even have to carry a water bottle with you or get one of those little running belts that you can put water in, or a vest that you can put water. Or if you're running in like a neighborhood or something, you can leave your water bottle set up somewhere, like on the back of your truck or something in your driveway. And that way you can run by, grab a quick drink, and then keep going. That's actually what I did this morning. So staying hydrated. And then what to eat after you run. So after you run, your body needs to refuel and recover. So eat something with protein and carbs. This is crucial. And I would also throw in a third one and say electrolytes again. You need some more electrolytes. So get some salt or some electrolyte packets, powder, or something like that. So think about like making you a protein smoothie, some fruit, some yogurt, something like that. Something with protein, carbs, and if you can, I would suggest getting in some more electrolytes because you probably just sweated a lot of your electrolytes out. So get something with some sodium in it. So next, we're going to talk about warming up and cooling down. This is going to be crucial for preventing injuries. So warming up, obviously this is your warm-up. It's going to get your body ready to run. That's what you do pre-run, before you run. Start with 5 to 10 minutes of walking or very, very slow jogging, and then do some stretches. So do some whatever kind of stretches you got to do to get your legs loose. I'm not going to run through all of them. Do some leg swings, high knees, butt kicks, things like that. This is going to help prevent injuries, and it's going to make your run feel a little easier. It's going to get you loosened up, warmed up, and ready to go. So by the time you get running, it don't take you that much longer to get going, to get warmed up. Because everybody knows when you first start, you're kind of stiff, and you're not fully in the rhythm. But as you get going, you start to feel better as you go. So go ahead and warm up first, so you're good to go when you start. And then you also want to make sure you're doing a cool down. When you finish your run, walk for 5 to 10 minutes to bring your heart rate back down. After you've been running, heart rate's going to be up. So walk for a little bit, bring it back down slowly. And then also you want to stretch your muscles, focus on your calves. These are going to be sore probably, your hamstrings, your quads. This is going to help your body recover and feel less sore. So make sure you're stretching before and after your runs, hydrate before and after your runs. So just think a walk before and after. So it's a pretty good warm up and cool down that you can do. And I suggest you do these on all your runs, whether it's going to be a short run, a medium distance run, or a long run. Do it for all of them just to be safe. Next, how do you recover from a run? So first and foremost, your rest days. Your muscles need time to rebuild after you run. So take at least 1 or 2 days off each week to let your body recover. Especially when you're first starting, you're definitely gonna need at least 1, probably 2 days to recover after you're running when you're first starting, because you're going to be sore. Like, if we're just being honest, you're pounding your body on the ground every time you take a step. It's going to take a toll on your body at first. It's going to take a while for your body to get in the rhythm of running, to get used to it, to build up the strength and muscles to where you're not getting sore. So when you're first starting out, you're going to need at least a day or two. And then as you get progressing, you can kind of lower that rest period down. But definitely at least 1 day in between, if not 2. You'll know. Listen to your body. You'll be sore. You'll know. Also, you can do stretching and foam rolling. So use a foam roller to massage your muscles, or the little massage guns that like pound your muscles. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Do some gentle yoga. This is going to improve flexibility and help your muscles relax. That's good for recovering. Also, sleep. Sleep is crucial. Everybody knows this. It's super important. Your body does most of its healing while you're resting, while you're asleep. So make sure you're getting enough sleep. And especially after a hard run, you especially want to get some sleep that night. And then also, I'm going to throw another one in there that I like to do is icing. So if you have a particular area that's hurting, ice that area. Or better yet, get you an ice bath and get in the ice bath. That way you ice your whole body. I'm actually working on putting together a little DIY homemade ice bath right now. I got a little chiller. I'm waiting for some parts to come in. But yeah, hopefully I'll have a actual ice bath at my house soon. But yeah, during my Ironman, ice baths were key. They come in so clutch. After you get done with a 5-6 hour workout, come home and jump in an ice bath. Oh, I know that don't sound good to y'all, but hey, after you run for 6 hours or bike or whatever for 6 hours, and then you come back, it feels amazing. I promise. Next, how to stay motivated. So some tips on staying motivated. Well, you got to make it fun. So how do you make it fun? One, if you're by yourself, you can listen to music, listen to podcasts. This keep you busy, keep you occupied. But what I suggest you do is find a buddy. Like, get somebody out there to run with you. It's gonna make it so much easier. This way, they kind of distract you from what's actually going on. That way, y'all kind of lose track of time and y'all just out there running. You could also try exploring new running routes. So run different places that you never ran. This kind of keeps it exciting and switches it up, because if you run the same route every time, it can get competitive. I mean, it can get repetitive and maybe getting old after a while. So you may want to switch it up every now and then. That's how you can keep it fun. Next, you want to set realistic goals. So start small, especially if you're a beginner. Maybe you could like start with a run walk. Obviously, you want to do run walk. So run for a minute, walk for 2 minutes. Run for a minute, walk for 2 minutes. And start there. And just slowly build that up over time. Then you'll finally get to where you're running for 5 minutes, walking for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Run for 5 minutes. You just build that up over time. You don't have to start off with running a mile. Like, most people can't even do that anyway. So don't even start off with doing that. So gradually increase your distance over time. Every little win counts. And then, of course, celebrate your progress. That's the next step. When you reach a goal, reward yourself. So like I mentioned earlier with some of that gear, hey, you may buy some new running gear or treat yourself to a good snack or something when you get back. So yeah, celebrate the little small wins as you go. The next section is safety first. Safety is crucial when it comes to running, because most time you're running out on the street where there are cars. And as we all know, in today's day and age, people do not pay attention when they're driving in their cars. A lot of people are texting on their phone. They're yelling at their children in the back seat. They're dozing off because it's early in the morning and they're on the way to work, or whatever they're doing. They're eating food. I see so many people eating food, fast food in their car all the time. They're jamming out on their music, singing, not paying attention. So just be aware of your surroundings. Run on the opposite side of the street of the direction you're going. That way you're looking directly at the cars and you can see them coming and they can see you coming. And if I see a car coming, I will even like get off the road. Even if there's no sidewalk, I'll get in the grass, like all the way, because I ain't taking no chances. I don't even want to try. So just be aware, look out for cars, everything. Don't even let it get close. Don't take no chances. Never expect a car to get over. Like, don't ever expect them to see you, because a lot of times they don't. Sometimes they won't see you. They're not really looking for a human. They're looking for other cars on the road. So don't ever expect them to see you and just naturally get over. Like, you get over. You take initiative and you get off on the grass. Or I suggest run in a neighborhood where there's sidewalks. If you don't have that option, run in the street on the neighborhood, because people don't go as fast in the neighborhood. Don't run on obviously a busy road or something. Try to run on the least traveled roads as you can. I know that everybody don't have that option. But do what you can. I don't even have good roads in my neighborhood to drive. So I literally drive to my mom's house and I'll park in my mom's house and run in her neighborhood because she has sidewalks all in her neighborhood. That way I can run on the sidewalk just because it's way safer for me. And they got street lights and things. So when I'm running at night in the morning, I can see a little bit. It's not pitch black out there. When you're running in different weather, so in my case, I'm in this extreme heat all the time. So you're running in hot weather. You want to run either super early in the morning or super late at night when it's not very hot. You don't want to run in the middle of the day when it's extremely hot because this could lead to overheating, getting dehydrated, sweating way more. You don't want to do that. If you're running in cold weather, wear layers, protect your hands, your ears, and your head. So everybody knows when you're out in the cold, your hands will get cold, your ears will get cold. So bundle up, make sure you have the proper attire on when you're running in cold weather. I don't have that problem here because it's always freaking hot. But yeah, on the few little days where it's cold, I'll make sure to wear some longer clothes. And then also listen to your body. So if you feel pain, stop and rest. Running through pain can make injuries worse. So remember that. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to slow down. You don't have to overdo it. Unless you're in a race, then I would keep going, finish the race. But if you're just training and you feel something going wrong, going bad, then stop, rest a little bit, maybe stretch it out, shake it out a little bit. Don't overdo it, because if you get injured, well, then you can't run at all. So then it's doing you no good. So you might as well take a step back, realize that you may need to take a rest, you may need to stop, you may need to take a day off, whatever that may be. Listen to your body, trust your instincts. You'll know what to do. So that's pretty much it. That's my running 101. Running can be a great way to stay fit, to have fun, but it's important to start slow. It's important to take care of your body. It's important to stay safe while you're running. And I highly encourage you, try it out. If you've never ran before, give it a shot. I can go ahead and tell you right now, if you've never done it and you're just starting out, you're not going to be good at it. You're not going to be able to run far. So just know that going in. Don't get frustrated. I feel like a lot of people expect to go out there and start running a mile. You ain't going to do that. Literally, if you're a beginner, start with walking. Go out there and start walking a few miles. And literally, this will help you build up that base endurance that you need. And then start with a run walk, graduate, keep increasing those intervals on your run walk. And then eventually you'll be running a mile before you know it. Then you'll be running a 5K, then be running 5 miles. It takes a long time to get good at running, but then once you start building that endurance, it'll start compounding. So the time it takes you to get to run a mile if you started today, the time it'll take you to run a mile will be way longer than the time it will take you to go from 3 miles to 10 miles. The mileage compounds. It's like compound interest. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Compound interest, like when you're investing. So it will take you a long time to get to a mile. But from 3 miles to 10 miles, that'll be a super quick. You'll figure that out quick. I mean, yeah, it'll take time, but it all compounds. So you got to stick to it. You got to get through the hard times, because it's not going to be easy when you first start. And it should really never be easy, because you should always be pushing yourself to get better, to go further, to go faster, things like that. But yeah, it'll compound after a while. It'll all click one day, and before you know it, you'll be running 5Ks, 10Ks. You'll be knocking it out. You'll be training for a half marathon before you know it. So yeah, I hope today's episode inspired you to give running a try. I really do. You should try it out. Remember, every step counts. Be smart about it. And I want to know. Let me know how your training goes. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM. Murphy McFit on all my socials. Y'all let me know. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. I will catch y'all in the next episode next week. But until then, y'all have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace, love, protein.